Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Young, Bo, Easy, and I would like to welcome you to the show. You are now tuned in to none other than Knicks and Dimes. Alright? Today we got a segment, is what I like to call Dime Season. If you've been here before, then you know what this is all about. If not, then welcome. Returning people, I would like to say welcome back. New, I would like you to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching nonetheless, and share with all your peoples. No matter who you are, please share with all your peoples. I would truly appreciate that. Today's show is going to be based on the contracts that's been given out most recently in the league, and whether or not the players that the contracts have been given to seem adequate or not. Based on my opinion, I would definitely like to hear your opinions. Leave those in the comments below, and then I will definitely respond to you as soon as I can. And but nonetheless, let's get into the show. Stay tuned. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, man. You are now tuned in to Knicks and Dimes. Like I said, we're here to discuss the contracts that's been recently given out within the past couple of months, and some even recent as last week. Uh, let's get right into it. Number one, we're going to start off with Trey Young, and I would like to include that most of these stats exclude the playoffs. Trey Young has been given a 5-year, $207 million contract extension with the Atlanta Hawks. 170 mil. It's technically 170 million within those 5 years. It comes with a certain condition, and it's if he makes the NBA All NBA team this season, any one of them. It could be first or second. All NBA team, and it has to be this season. From what I'm gathering, it has to be from this season. All right. So my only concern with this contract is the health. But I mean, so far he's been showing us that he's pretty durable. Health hasn't really been a problem for Trey Young. Trey Young is somebody who's, he plays low to the ground. He's not one of those high flyers, and he's not the most athletic guy. He gets the job done, but still he's not the most athletic guy, and those are the people who are typically kind of prone to injuries when you're playing, above the rim, and, you got athletic cuts and things of that nature. And Trey Young is not that type of guy. He's, just a little more grounded, per se. Rookie season, he played 81 out of the 82 games, 60 games out of the 63 to 67. And in the games played in the 1920 season before COVID hit, everybody played a different amount of games, which is why I say 63 to 67. Everybody played a different amount of games by the time COVID hit, and they just stopped the season abruptly. So still showed good durability within that time. 60 games, and then 63 out of the 72 games last season. So he's shown that he's pretty durable. It doesn't seem like injury is necessarily a problem for him, so I would say that's the only thing that could hinder him, because I feel like his trajectory is only going to keep going up. I feel like even this season, with the team that he has around him, he can definitely be somebody who's an All-NBA team candidate or selection for that matter, and possibly even in those MVP talks. Man, could possibly get an MVP vote here and there. Will he be leading the MVP talks? I don't know. That's something that's got to be seen. We only got one game in the books as far as we go. They haven't even played their first game yet, but they play tonight against the Dallas Mavericks. 25, 4, and 9 assists on his career. Jumped 6 points from his rookie average to the second season. And then from his second season to his third season, he jumped up 4 points, averaging 29, 4, and 9 last season. So it's been constant constant growth. You see the constant jumps with him. And to go up 4 points or 6 points in one season, as far as average goes, that's not light. That's something to be really, really taken seriously. I don't know if it'll be another 4 point jump this year, because that would mean he'd be going from 29 to 33. I don't necessarily think he needs to do that with his team. I think he could average 30, solid, but I don't think he'll be 33, 34, or anything of that nature. I think, he could keep averaging 30 and then round it off for like a 5 and 10, and that would possibly put him in the MVP talks along with them winning games. All right, so I would say this contract, chunk it up, man. This is definitely worth it. Pay that man. And it might be the full $207 million by the time this season is over, because I think it's very well possible that he can make that All-NBA team. All right, so next up we got Luca Doncic. Luca, man, same contract, 5-year, $207 million. The only difference is his is all guaranteed. He did that. You understand? He did that. Luca's you gotta put some respect on Luca's name. Luca just does what it does, man. He Luca's nice, man. You have to put some respect on it. And what can you say, man? I'm just gonna jump into the notes that I got for Luca, man. No concerns with this one. It's a given. 72 games his rookie season. He missed 10 games. That shows durability. And the percentage, I would probably say that's 85% of the season, maybe. Close to 90. So that's phenomenal. 61 the year of the bubble, which I said it was 63 to 67. I'm not sure exactly how many games the Mavs played, but to know that you probably missed only 5 or 6 games max shows durability. His is the same situation as Trey Young. He's not one of those high flyers. He could dunk. Something we probably won't be seeing Trey Young doing, but he's not somebody who's trying to go on the paint and catch a body. He's also very low to the ground. He muscles people a couple times, but he's not doing these crazy athletic cuts besides the step back, and even that is not really the most athletic stuff. And as far as the word athleticism goes, is just pretty much creating space. He's really, really creative when it comes to creating space. And I think that's where he thrives and gets a lot of his points, whether it's mid-range, post work, and even outside. We know that step back is definitely, I won't say the most efficient, but it's a patented move. It's pretty much a household move at this point. 66 out of the 72 last season, had a lead in the playoffs and then blew it, which to me wasn't his fault necessarily. But to be brief, it just goes to show that he's the real deal. And he had that when Kawhi and PG were in there. Granted, him and his squad couldn't finish it, but like I said, it just goes to show that the talent and the potential that's still there, even with the points that he's been averaging, which I'm going to list off in a little bit. He's just somebody that you gotta put respect on. You gotta put respect on Luca, whether you like him or not. You gotta respect him. 27.7 points, 8 rebounds, 8.6 assists for his career. 21 points rookie season, 28.8 in year 2. You know what I'm saying? And then 27.7 last season, in roughly the same amount of time of minutes every year. So between 32 and 34 minutes. And you're averaging close to 30, at least last season, but every season that he's been in, he's been getting 32 to 34 minutes. And like I said, 21 rookie season, then he made a jump. In year 2 with 7 points, almost 4 points from year 1 to year 2. Dialed it back a little bit in year 3 by 1.1 points. But I feel like that's just this supporting cast, if anything, because I do believe the assist numbers went up, but he's pretty much averaging close to 30 these last 2 seasons. This is somebody you got to chalk up. I think this contract is solidified You see, it's already guaranteed. He's already made all the credentials necessary. He's met all the requirements necessary to receive the full guaranteed contract, so he doesn't have to worry about some of the things that Trey Young and some other people that I'm going to be listing off moving forward needs to, such as the next person, Michael Porter. All right, Michael Porter's same contract, 5-year, $207 million, same as the Trey Young deal, $173 million originally. 34 mil is once you get a All NBA team or MVP this season. All right, so listen, I'm a huge Mike Porter fan. Huge Mike Porter fan. That's probably one of the guys I watched the most as far as even in high school. I'm not the biggest. I'm not. There's people that follow the high school stuff better than I do. But when Michael Porter was in high school, doing his thing in high school, I was here. Like I was following, and I was just like amazed by this guy, and I'm like, this is somebody that's just different. He's next level. But let's dial it back a little bit. I don't know about that MVP this season. Maybe we could just put that off for another season. But for them to put that this season, I don't know about that. He's gonna probably need to try to get one of those All NBA things. And even me personally, the way I feel like the rest of the league matches up, I don't really see that for him. But anyway, I think this is a great investment. I think because the team is not losing out on much. You're paying the guy pretty much based on potential. To be honest, if he wasn't supposed to be number one, he was supposed to be top 3 in that draft if it wasn't because of the back spasms. And I think people forget about that. So obviously, injury is something that you worry about moving forward. But it's based on the potential that if he's healthy, this contract I don't really have an issue with. Didn't play rookie season with the back issue. 55 games in the season of the bubble out of the 72 games last season, which not too bad. 72 games last season. 55 in the bubble. It's just he's shown that he could possibly stay on the floor. It hasn't been the worst case scenario. So 55 games and then played good in that in the actual bubble. I think we're looking good right now. The health factor hasn't been too much of a hindrance. But some of his career highs is 39 late in the season versus the Rockets. And then 28 versus the Jazz, who's definitely respectable, one of the top defensive teams. So basically scoring close to 30 in a career high in the playoffs. That's pretty cool. Career numbers is technically 14 points when you round it out, but he averaged 9 points in 16 minutes as a rookie, which isn't bad. And then 19 points in 31 minutes last season. So it's a good deal in my eyes for both sides. I don't think that they're risking too much here. Your base, he's showing you so far that he can be healthy. To an extent, you obviously want him to play a little bit more games. But based on potential, this is a great move. Michael Porter is possibly a star, like a star. I think he would be on the level of the Doncic and Trey Young if he came in healthy. And he would definitely be in a different scenario. They jumped in and pretty much were the captains of their team immediately. And I think Michael Porter, seeing as he was supposed to be a top 3 pick, would have been in the same situation and would have been holding it down, just like Doncic and Trey Young had the luxury of doing. They had to fight through it. Doncic had success immediately, if you consider playoffs a success. But, I think Michael Porter would have done that too, but the cards were just dealt a little different for him. But, yeah, I think this is a good deal for both sides, the team and him. Next up is Wendell Carter. 4 years, $50 million contract extension with the Magic, fully guaranteed. All right? So we're talking about like $12.5 million here. for Wendell Carter and the Magic. Uh, Not bad at 12 and a half. You know, him being a seventh pick in the draft, it could be a steal because if he actually begins to start to show that potential, then you underpaid him. You know, he's under contract for 4 years and you underpaid him, but he's still producing something that's worth way more than 12.5 million a year. If he starts to show that, that's a steal for the Magic. But it's got to feel good on his side that, you know, even with the situations that he's been in, that a team has enough confidence to, you know, put that type of faith in you for the long term. 4 years ain't too much time, but still, you know, to give you that amount of money and give you a solidified contract where you ain't got to worry about nothing, fully guaranteed, that's got to feel good as a player. Only concern is health. I'm guessing I'm not the biggest Wendell Carter fan. I believe it was health that was hindering him his first couple seasons, but 44 games rookie season out of 82 games, which is that's half the season. You want somebody out on the floor. Way more than that. 43 out of the 67, which isn't the worst, but still you want somebody. You pretty much missed 20 games. And so 43 out of the 62 to 67 in year two COVID season. 54 out of the 72, which isn't bad. 32 with Chicago, and then 22 with Orlando. Once traded to Orlando. So I think the bright spot here is that he's been consistent once he's actually on the court. He's pretty much averaging a consistent 11 points every year since he's been in the league. And then shooting over 50% for his career. So, you know, like I said, it's got to feel good for him that even with the injuries, I believe, hindering him, knowing that when he steps out on the floor, he's actually been consistent and it's been noticed. So pretty much you just got to worry about the health. And if he could stay on the floor, you know, he's just going to be consistent for you. And anytime somebody's shooting 50%, that's a good sign. That's a really, really good sign. 11, 8, and 2 on his career in only 26.5 minutes, man. So that's not bad. Once again, shooting 50%, and he's only playing close to just slightly over half the game. Like I said, this could be a steal for the Magic if he begins to ramp it up a little more, man, and turn it up to like a 15, 16, which I don't think is the most impossible thing. I like Wendell Carter. He's consistent. He's a hard worker. I'm not a huge fan of him like I am of some other players, but I think this is a good contract, man. I have no issues with this. All right, so moving on, we got SGA. My man Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 5 years, $172 million. First season with the Clippers, he had 11 points in 82 games, playing 26.5 minutes. All right, this is with the Clippers. He got traded and then played 70 games with OKC, averaging 19 points in 35 minutes, which isn't bad. You see growth, 8-point jump. 35 games last season, averaging 23.7 in 34 minutes, shooting close to 50% every year. That is phenomenal to me. That is phenomenal to me. 24 points in 34 minutes. It's phenomenal. I think that's great. You know, the only problem here is he played 35 games, you know, so you definitely see the growth, but the injuries just what halted our chance of seeing truly what SGA is, and even probably if we got the chance to see it, it wouldn't reflect too nicely because of a team that he's on, such as OKC, which isn't well-rounded as a whole. All right, so if injuries isn't a thing long term, I think this is something that definitely, I think it's worth it now with what he's already shown you. But you might have actually got off with a steal here too, because he's averaging pretty much close to the same as Luca and Trey Young. He's averaging really, really close to those numbers and probably could get as much as them. if he's actually just staying on the floor. So you might have got off 20 to 30 million easy. But nonetheless, we're gonna move on. Next up is Jaren Jackson. 4 years, $105 million contract extension. 58 games, averaging 14 points in 26 minutes as a rookie. Not bad. 57 games, averaging 17.4 in 29 minutes for year 2. Pretty healthy. As you can see, that's the COVID season where they played between 63 to 67. So max, he probably missed 8 games. And he showed, the numbers showed because he had pretty much 17.5 points as an average. Nice. This is where the problem came. 11 games, averaging 14.4 in 24 minutes due to the torn meniscus in the left knee. That's where the problem came for Jaren Jackson. So personally, this 4-year, $105 million extension should probably be more. It should probably be up with the numbers that we've been reflecting at 5-year, 172. But I don't know if Memphis has the same faith, moving forward. As because of what the injuries have. Second year was okay. First was not the worst. 58 out of 72. It's not bad. We only missed 14 games. No, actually, I'm sorry. That is kind of, you want him on. He missed 24 games. You want him on the field a little more. So first year and the third year, and it's the second year that's not so bad. You only missed about 8 games. I don't know if Memphis has that confidence 100%, which is probably why the deal looks different from other guys, such as the Trey Young, Luca, and Michael Porter. But I think this is still a pickup, and you might have gotten a steal. You might have stole something for and paid much less money than you were probably actually supposed to, because when Jaren Jackson is producing, I think this is someone who could be 20 or 20 plus on the side of John Morant. That's me on a personal level. I feel like that's definitely a possibility for him. All right, we're gonna move forward, man. With as far as all this signing goes, no DeAndre Jordan deal. All right, I said DeAndre Jordan. I'm sorry, DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns has not reached the deal. Doesn't seem like he's going to before this season is up. I believe that deadline is pretty much around the corner if it hasn't hit already. No deal. But let's go into it and why this probably is. First pick of 2018. All right, he got first rookie team. You being the first pick, you better get that. All right, but check this out. You never averaged 20 points or more like your other classmates. No all-star selections. You played good in the playoffs this past season, made it all the way to the finals, which isn't a small feat. You gotta put respect on that. For him, and the whole team as a whole. So you gotta put respect on it. But are we convinced just yet? That's just one run. That's just one run, First time in the playoffs. Your team is deep, so how much credit could we actually just give you? Are we convinced? So I think that's the reason why the deal wasn't struck. And he wants a Trey Young deal. He pretty much wanted the 5-year, $172 million. The question is, do you deserve it? And I feel like that's why Phoenix held out. Do you really deserve that contract? 5 years, $172 million. I don't know. Let's get into it. I won't hold it against him too much, because this is probably half the league. This is a trend for it. Giannis ate this man food in the playoffs. First, 2 games, cool. After that, Fam and I was joking that they was probably looking at film and Giannis is like, yo, this dude is on me one-on-one. Like, after that, he ate his food. So I can't take it away from you too much, but at the same time, it was to the point where you had to be taken out. Your effectiveness did not show after that. All right? And then I got another one. Let's check this out. And I'm going to put this up on the screen so everyone can see. I put a comparison up with Jared Allen, who just got a contract, and I believe it's 5 years, 100 million, so 20 million a year. All right. Points. DeAndre Ayton 14.4 to Jared Allen's 12.8. Blocks 1.2 to Jared Allen's 1.4. Steals 0.6 to Allen's 0.5. Assists 1.4 to Jared Allen's 1.7. 10.5 for Ayton as far as rebounds go, and 10 flat for Jared Allen goes. As far as Jared Allen goes. So you being right centered with statistically with Jared Allen, which always doesn't show exactly what, because there's stats that don't always show on the stat sheet. But as far as this comparison goes, I don't think that really benefits Ayton still. You're pretty much line to line with Jared Allen. So why do you deserve $172 million? Me, I would gladly pay you 5 years, $100 million. If I'm an executive, I'm paying DeAndre Ayton 5 years, $100 million, and I wouldn't even blink twice offering that contract. I think he deserves $20 million a year for sure, definitely. 172. You've never reached an All-Star game. You haven't averaged 20 points in any of your 3 seasons. Like Michael Porter just got borderline to. Luca is doing easily. Trey Young doing easily. Shai Gilgeous doing easily. And all of these people are in your class. Colin Sexton is somebody who I was going to mention moving forward is somebody who's gotten 20 points. You haven't gotten 20 points, and you're the first pick of the draft. Do you deserve $172 million is the question. Me? I don't know. And I feel like that's why Phoenix held out also. 5 years, $100 million like Jared Allen got? Gladly, I would give you that contract. And now I feel like it's a season where, such as similar to John Collins, John Collins had to play it through, bet on himself, and then got rewarded the big contract. Is it going to work out the same way for DeAndre Ayton? That's only time will tell. But I'm not too sure. All right? Other notable names, Robert Williams, who played last night against the Knicks, had a phenomenal game. 4 years, $54 million. Mikal Bridges of Phoenix Suns, a teammate of DeAndre Ayton, 4 years, $90 million. Kevin Huerter, ATL, the Hawks backup, 4 years, $65 million. Landry Shamet for Phoenix, 4 years, $43 million. Grayson Allen, 2 years, $20 million. All right, notables who did not get extensions. All right, Marvin Bagley, who was pick number 2, no extension. I feel like this is probably reasonable. We haven't seen what we wanted to see from Marvin Bagley from that college jump to the NBA. Maybe it's not fully his fault that Sacramento roster that when he was coming in, I wasn't a huge fan. I like the way their team is now. But I feel like it's also a season where he has to bet on himself right now before he can get a contract. And I don't think it'll be the contract that you would have thought coming in to the league that somebody would have said when it's extension time that he's going to be getting. I think it's going to be something around the Robert Williams, 4 years, 54. If he balls out this year and shows that, he still has that potential. But we haven't really seen what we wanted to see from Marvin Bagley yet. All right, Mo Bamba, pick 6, and I ain't talking about interceptions.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right. We haven't seen what we wanted from Mo Bamba either. Colin Sexton, pick 8. Colin has actually played good. He's, I believe, averaged 20 points in multiple seasons. But it's on the Cavs, so how much credit can you really give him? But I don't want to take away from his game. I think that's actually he's actually good. He's puts in one of the most he's great effort wise, but that's still one of the worst backcourts that I've ever seen in my life. Him and Garland, and I think that needs to go. I don't think he's a starter in this league. I think he's somebody who can definitely produce great minutes for you. But I don't think Colin Sexton is a starter. Next, we got Miles Bridges, pick 12. I think to make your stars happy, I think with LaMelo, the connection that they got with it is Airbnb. I like that nickname. I think it's something that you gotta you have to give Miles a contract. I actually like Miles. I think he's good enough for the 4 years, close to like 60 mil. I don't know if we're talking any higher than that. I'm not too sure what's going on in those talks. I haven't heard anything around Miles Bridges' contract extension. But I think Miles Bridges is somebody that I'm willing to give an extension. I think every year he's somebody who's putting in that work to try and get better. And I can't wait to see him as the season goes on, to see how that connection between him and Ball continues and how he just continues on an individual level. But I think right now with what he's shown so far, especially last season, I think it's somebody that's worth a 4-year, $60 million contract. I wouldn't hesitate with something like that, but I don't know what he's requesting, to move forward with, and how those talks were actually going, or if they went or started at all. All right, so Dante DiVincenzo, pick 17. If you notice, this is all the 2018 draft. All right. I'm not too sure about this Dante DiVincenzo one. And him being hurt at the latter half of the playoffs, when the Bucks were winning the championship, I felt like would have been a good time for him to show out. And I feel like if he did do so, that he would probably have a contract right now. So maybe that played against him, but I don't know what I would do personally with Dante DiVincenzo. I don't know if I would give him the 4 years 50 or anything like that right now. Maybe a 2-year 20 like Grayson Allen got. I would definitely give something like that, but I think he still has more to show. So this might be one of those seasons where somebody has to bet on themselves. But I think he's a great player. The Villanova guys typically, man, they're winners. I respect the guy. I like him as a player. I just don't know where it's going for him moving forward. All right, Lonnie Walker, pick 18, right after DiVincenzo. Man, I wish the Spurs would, man. I wish the Spurs would. I think, man, this guy, if he gets off the Spurs, I think he's gonna blow up and just take it to another level. Me personally, I don't know what's going on with these talks. Is it because of compatibility with the team? Is it? I haven't heard anything on this side as well. That's somebody I would definitely give a contract for. What he's shown me, I feel like, but I want to see him outside of this Spurs system, and just let him. You gotta let the kid fly. I would definitely give this dude 4 years 60 as well. I don't know if we're talking about those other stuff. You still got more to show me, but I think that's the Spurs system hindering him, because I think he could average 17, 18 in this league and be really, really effective as far as these next 2 years, and he could probably go further than that. But I don't know. I'm not saying he's a star, but I like Lonnie Walker. I just want to see him in a different system, something that lets him play his game at 100%. All right, but we're talking about a deep draft. My question is, what's up with the bigs? What's up with the bigs in this draft? You know what I'm saying? I think Robin Williams, who was probably the latest pick out of all of them, is the only one who really, really got an extension. He was picked 27. Marvin Bagley, Mo Bamba, DeAndre Ayton, no contracts. I don't know what's going on with the bigs in this draft. Wendell Carter got one, pick 7, so he's the highest and pick 1, 2, and 6 as far as big man goes. Before him, didn't get contracts. So I don't know what's up with that draft, but definitely a deep draft. I wonder where this class ranks up. I think this class has potential to be like one of the, top classes all time. Do I want to say that right now? Because this class is kind of deep, man, and But I really hope you like the show, man. I think these signings are something that's gonna bring a lot of great fruition for the players and the teams that they're on. Mainly the teams that they're on. I think we're gonna see constant production from these people that actually did get contracts. Let's stay tuned to see what goes on with the rest of the guys who didn't sign contracts. Will they be getting any contracts last minute? If that deadline hasn't passed yet, or will we be seeing some moves to free up, contract space, and or will they be getting new contracts at the end of the year, around next summer? Time will tell. I really hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed really breaking this stuff down to you guys. Alright, you know how we rock in love, gratitude, positive attitude, and I'll see you on the next one.